countdown right there. Hello, everybody. We're about 10 seconds away from rolling the open right here. We'll kind of just stall and drag, and I'm a few minutes behind schedule, but to make up the ground. Glad you're along. Rain reborn with the Kansas City Monarchs. Dan Vaughn, great show coming for you. I've got Darnell Sweeney standing by. He's going to join us right off the top, and that comes your way in 3, 2, 1. Let's roll the open. Here we go. Oh, we're rocking right along. And you ever one of those days where you kind of think you're ahead, but then you look up and you're not ahead? You're kind of like, wait, where'd the morning go? I had that morning. I got all excited because I was working out and getting in shape, and I thought, oh, well, I'm way ahead of schedule, right? Well, not so much. I'll move the camera just a bit there. Anyway, glad you're along. Rain reborn with the Kansas City Monarchs. You know the drill. If you hear me, you give me a thumbs up. Please share this as well. We have got a great lineup card for today. I'm just going to roll right into it because he's standing by. He's leading off. He's done that a few times in his career. I'm going to bring him in here in just a moment. Darnell Sweeney. First off, let me do a little bells and whistles. This is the fun part. The production value. We like to do the production because this is live. This is live, so I haven't done the live one in a while. So let me just do a little Monarchs video intro for Darnell. I got a surprise in the second half hour. I got some more bells and whistles, things coming to you. We'll get all of that. But first off, leading things off, let's give you our guest of the day. Here's the intro right here. There we go. There he is, folks. That is the man, and I just said lead off, so I guess it's fitting. First off, can you hear me, Darnell?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good. Well, I guess it's kind of fitting. You're leading off the show, but you're kind of doing a little bit of everything. First off, catch us up. How you doing? What's going on with you? What has your off-season been like? Give us the Darnell Sweeney off-season.
Just enjoying time with the family. I got a 3-year-old just running around the house, and we're trying to potty train, so that kind of tells you where I'm at right now. But working out and doing lessons and doing a little bit of coaching on the side. So just trying to keep busy and getting ready for the season. Yeah, those 3-year-olds, they do eventually turn 21, and the phone calls are a little different there. They don't call you now at 3, but as I got 2 that are over 21, and the drama is different at that age. Anyway, I'll let you slip that in. First off, glad you're along. You've been such a big part of things for this ball club for so long. What really goes into your thinking about being a Monarch? I mean, what is it about the Kansas City Monarchs that you love, and that the reason you want to be a part of the Monarchs organization? I kind of give it all up to Joe. He's a straightforward guy, and that's one of the things that I kind of grew up with my dad and the coaches that I really gravitate to is the guys who are straightforward and kind of let you do your thing. And it's definitely a testament to him and how he coaches, and it's exciting to kind of be under his tutelage right now. And when it's all said and done, I feel like I can still play. I know I can still do it at a high level, and Joe's giving me that opportunity to do it and try to get back to affiliated or big leagues, whatever it is he's giving me that opportunity, and I just got to be grateful and excited about it.
It is a family feeling, and I know Joe very well. He's a people look at him and go, God, he's a real tough looking dude, but he's a bit of a teddy bear. There's a lot of love with that guy. He really does love his players. Do you feel that same love?
Yeah, that's definitely it's I guess it's the Italian in him. He definitely has that love and that family atmosphere. Like I can kind of say that he's a father figure to a lot of these guys, even if they do have a father. Like I'm close with my dad, but how we talk, it's definitely very family like basis, and it's easy to go out and play and do everything we need to do to help him win ball games and win championships ultimately.
Sitting there, if I walked up to you and first question I ask you, what comes to mind about 2021? What's first thing that pops in your mind about 2021? The season, the Monarch season.
Yeah, I think it's being able to be the first set of guys to wear that Monarchs uniform. I think that was pretty exciting, and actually seeing the type of team that we had put together, and it was fun to be on that field, man. We had that swag and that confidence, no matter if we were winning, if we were losing in the clubhouse, on the bus rides, we had that. And it's one of those things that when it's all said and done, if we can get a team like that again and have that confidence and have that swag, it's definitely going to be another fun year.
You bring up being the Monarchs, and you and I have not talked about this. We had a short conversation a couple times in the season, but I think the Monarchs thing, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but being a Monarch means something to you.
Yeah, it definitely does. It's it being a predominant and prestigious Negro League team and being an African American player, it definitely gives you a sense of pride and a sense of urgency to carry that name in the right way. And I'm pretty sure 2021 I was able to do that as a player, and I was able to help the team do that as an organization. And I know the Kansas City fans and even the Negro League Museum was excited about that. And I hope we could just continue that in 2022.
Pretty fired up when Buck O'Neil made the Hall of Fame. You pretty fired up about that?
Yeah, I did see that. It's a long time coming. I think when it's all said and done, that's what you hear about with the KC Monarchs is Buck O'Neil, and that name alone kind of holds its weight. And being able to actually go to the museum and kind of like hear the history about him and about just the Monarchs is definitely, it's like it should have happened a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm with you. You know, I'm an older guy, and I was telling this to a dear friend of mine, buddy of mine who does a podcast with Billy Martin Jr., Kenny Matthews, who follows our ball club. We were talking about this last night on the phone. I didn't realize, and as a student of the game, or a student of the game, I didn't realize so much of the history that was tied into the Monarchs. Were you that way? Did you kind of get blindsided? Did you go, wow, when you went down to the museum?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. They scratched the surface like growing up, and like you hear it on TVs, maybe one or two things, but to really deep dive and actually go to the museum and have the tour that I have. I forgot the lady's name that took us around the tour, but she was amazing. And for us to kind of like break down everything that Monarchs had to do, not just the Monarchs, but just the whole league itself, it definitely was an eye-opening experience for me and my family.
Let's talk about that 2021 season. You guys were just such a nickel and dime club, little bloops there and all. I'm kidding. Power, power, power. Now, you've been the big leagues. Darnell Sweeney's been the big leagues. He's seen some power. Is that the most powerful club, long ball-wise, you've ever played on? Because, I mean, it seems like every time I turned around, it was see you later, somebody.
Yeah, I think it was definitely the most consistent when I came around. I know a lot of teams really take pride in trying to spread spread the skill set of speed, defense, pitching. Sure. And I think we had a good combination of everything, but I know one of the things that we took pride in is driving the ball. And if you had enough guys who can drive the ball out the ballpark, why not do it? Like, don't try to change who you are as a team or who you are as a player. We're a team that we were able to get on base and wait for that long ball, and that's what happened.
The voice you hear, and the guy on the right side of the screen, is Darnell Sweeney, the Kansas City Monarchs. My name is Dan Vaughn. I'm the voice of the Monarchs, and the show is Reign Reborn with the Kansas City Monarchs. Glad y'all are along here as we, we look up, and it's the middle of March, and we're heading right along. Are you starting to count down the days, Darnell? Do you realize it's getting close? I mean, getting closer. Or are you still in off-season mode?
No, I'm definitely I after the off season, I actually went to go play in Mexico for a month or so, and I took about a week off, and I've been working out and keeping my body ready. It's not really an off season. You still got to prepare your body,
right,
for a grueling season and being able to perform at the level that I want to perform at. So it's nothing like just kick back and put your feet up. It's always work. Off season is actually probably more grueling for me because I put in the work to keep my body right, eat right,
Right.
and get to the position. So when it's ready for me to be on a field, any field it is, I'm ready to play.
Yeah, us broadcasters just kick our feet up. That's what we do. I walk 45 minutes to an hour a day, and I think I'm doing something. It's like crazy. But a couple of things here is we really run along with Darnell Sweeney on Rain Reborn. I'm just looking at my notes. First off, 2020. I'm going to take you back to the year because you signed with the Monarchs / T-Bones at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You'll think you were going to be back in 20. Then all of a sudden the pandemic hits. Was that 2020 season where you did play? You played in Winnipeg and you forged on. The league forged on. Was that one of the weirdest experiences baseball-wise, or did it not matter once the season got going?
Yeah, it definitely was weird. It's definitely you kind of look back at it. I actually kind of sat with my wife a couple of days ago, and to think about it, 2 years ago around this time is when everything kind of shut down in the country. So it was kind of crazy, and I was getting ready and getting ramped up to go to KC, and then it kind of hits you with the surprise, and it's like maybe it'll pass by, and maybe it would just be a little thing, and then it turned around to be years that now that we're in trying to figure out this pandemic, and definitely my condolences to the families who got it affected with it. But it definitely was a different year. It definitely was a different season. But I think that just attests to my resilience and perseverance when it comes down to it. Like I yes did make it to the big leagues, but it was a trial. It was a grueling time,
Right.
and I think it was just a little bit of another test that I had to just try to get through and be able to play that season and put some numbers up to kind of help the situation of me getting back to where I need to be.
Darnell Sweeney with us here on Rain Reborn. Dan Vaughn with you here on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, and also on our podcast edition. A couple of more things here. I want to finish with some fun stuff at the end, but you're a family guy. You mentioned your daughter, and gosh, I remember when she was 2 years ago. It was a 19 season. You guys were there before you got picked up, and had a great time meeting your family. And she's just a great thing. But you're a family guy. How tough is that in the minor leagues, or really in baseball in general, to balance the family life? And because it's a demanding job, you're at home in the morning, but you're doing this every day. How do you do that?
Having a good support system. My wife Natasha, she kind of took the bearings of that. So obviously my daughter was born 2018 when I was with Toronto, and it definitely was a different time and road that we never been a part of. Having a little one kind of have to take care of, and she like I said, she took the reins. She knew I had to go and play, and she knew I needed to rest. So she kind of took the night shift a little bit, and I'm a morning person, so when I woke up, I kind of helped with that situation. And her mom and my mom both also helped with the situation as well during the season. So having a good support system and trying to be a family man and be that person, it's a lot easier when you have somebody that's on board with your plans and with your goals as well. So
I call you up, and I'm an old teammate, let's say from Toronto. Let's say I call you up and I say, "Hey, man, I've been released, but there's a team out there called the Monarchs. I understand you played there. You play for them. What's the elevator pitch? Should I sign with them? Do players ask you? What would you say?"
Yeah, actually, Joe, me and him kind of work in that situation. If he finds a person that I've played with or played against, and kind of gets the attitude of want to come and still play. I know a lot of guys kind of look at independent ball as like they look down at it's not as competitive or whatnot. But the one thing I would tell them is it's a competitive league. You're facing guys who been to the big leagues, who are upper in the minor leagues, AAA, AA. So if you're looking for somewhere that you can still compete and still be able to get your numbers and kind of build your resume to get back to the affiliated or wherever you want to go, I think Casey is the best spot because when it's all said and
Right.
done, you got food around, you got things to do, you got
Right.
the outlets right across the street. Like there's really nothing that you can't do or you miss out going to KC compared to
Right.
a lot of cities that we have been to.
Right, sure, no doubt. Dan Vaughn with you, Darnell Sweeney here on Rain Reborn with the Kansas City Monarchs. Two more things before as we wrap things up here. Somebody mentioned to me Monarchs 2.0. I think John West kind of mentioned it. I believe Joe sort of mentioned it as well in his last visit with me. Looks like the band's getting back together. Monarchs 2.0?
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely exciting to see some of the names again. I know having a guy like Jan Hernandez in that lineup is definitely something to look forward to. I know Morgan had signed, but then he got picked up with Kansas City, and I wish nothing the best for that kid.
Right.
That kid, he deserves to be in somebody's affiliated because he can play. He's a gamer. He's still young. He still has the opportunity to take off. And same thing with Grajan. He's probably one of the most bat the ball skills I've seen in a long time. And but just to see the guys who've been around and the guys who was there last year to try to come back and be excited to go and play, it's exciting to go see familiar faces because now we don't have to try to have the chemistry all over
Right.
again. Like we're already there. We know these guys. We've done the long bus trips. We've done
Right.
the clubhouse card games. So it's nothing new to us. So now we can just continue that culture that we had last year and just basically hit the ground running.
Final thing, kind of a fun thing. One of those guys who signed, I'm going to talk about here in a few minutes from the hot stove, is Casey Gillespie. You guys have been known to room together on the road. You're kind of you're well. He's married. You're married. You've got the family, but you guys seem to be pretty close. How is life on the road with Casey Gillespie?
When it's all said and done, we're the same personality, and I think that's what makes it work for us. Like. We're not trying to push each other to do anything special. Like we both love breakfast, but he kind of sleeps in and I can wake up. So it's not me trying to, hey, you want to go get breakfast? Like we talk about what we ate for breakfast and it's one of those things that we love to do and then we're big pizza guys after the game. So we kind of after the game we kind of give each other that look. It's like, okay, it's today a pizza night and that's what we do. So I think it's a good personality mix where we're both understanding where we are.
Sure.
We understand what type of personality we each have, and it kind of fits and meshes well.
Any habit that you just can't stand?
You know what? For things that Casey does, it's really nothing besides maybe the video game playing at 2-3 o'clock in the morning. But besides that, he's very neat. I'm a neat guy. We kind of make sure we're not in each other's personal space, and it's one of those things. It kind of like it just fits well.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this to you in my email recently that I mean there's a lot of fun stuff there because I see you guys all the time and of course I think nothing but great things about both of you, but I think there's some fun stuff there. There's some kind of video thing we can do on the board of the stadium or something, kind of a some kind of I don't know video or game or some such. And I'm working on it. I just got to come up. Maybe Morgan Kalinda can come up with a great idea because I mean kind of
I think that definitely will be fun. I might have to kind of nudge Casey to do it with me. Like he's a little bit more introverted than I am, but when it's all said and done, I feel like it'll be a fun thing, not just for us as two buddies and two teammates, but I think for the fans as well.
Darnell, I appreciate your time, and I know the fans appreciate your time. Looking forward to seeing your smiling face and the family there in Kansas City. And just thanks for taking the time, and we'll see you very soon, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's Darnell Sweeney joining us right here on Rain Reborn. Darnell will let you go right there, and I appreciate his time. Darnell Sweeney on Rain Reborn with the Kansas City Monarchs. Let's continue a little outro jam. What a phenomenal guy. I mean, I don't think, and that's the thing. And I'm trying to not be too emotional because you can't help but talk to him and these Monarch guys. And I say this all the time. There are a lot of journalists out there. As I put the graphic back up for us here quick because my screen's a little different today. I'm doing a little something different, experimenting for something with the season. If it works, we'll do it. So just give me just a moment. There we go. Really born the Kansas City Monarchs. There's an old school of journalism that says, well, you don't want to get attached, right? You're covering the story. You're covering the game. You don't want to get attached. Well, poppycock. You can't be a part of a ball club. You can't travel with the team, get to know what they're about, see their ups and downs, be there with their highs, be at the lows. You can't be all there and not be attached and not think something attachment to these guys. And it hits me every time I have a conversation with these, just what good individuals they are. They're great ball players, but even better human beings. And when you see a guy like Darnell and how grounded he is, and Casey and all these different guys, I remember Jan Hernandez last summer when he got signed was thanking me for my home run calls. I mean, these guys get it. And, in a world we need more good stuff, these guys get it. So, anyway, it was a good interview. And thank you very much, Jim, for sounding off there. But, Darnell, a couple of things, too. Of course, having a 3-year-old will keep you busy, and he definitely keeps busy. Played in Mexico. We'll probably talk more about that during the broadcast of the season. We'll get to that a little bit more in the pregame show. We get him on our dugout reports. But a big thanks to Darnell Sweeney for being a part of things. One more note about that interview, too. He's very keen on the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum and its importance and the Monarch jersey. He gets it. And it's something, as we talked about in the interview, that, you're always learning something new, and it's clear that it means a lot to me. Raymond going to the Kansas City Monarchs continues. Now, I've got a little surprise for you here in a few minutes, but I got a few minutes to get there, so I'm going to kind of go in reverse here. It's time for 2 good minutes with DV, so let me get that set up for us here, because it is the 2 good minutes section, and usually start there. But I was well ahead of the schedule today. I was ready to go and got my workout in. I was all ready. I looked up, and I'm still shirtless, which is scary. Going, oh, wait, it might be a good idea to actually sort of get ready because the show's coming. So let's do 2 good minutes with DV. Get the graphic up right there. Script right here. I'm going to go ahead and put this up, and we'll start it up here in 2 good minutes. Let's bring down, for some reason, my camera today. Maybe I should use a secondary camera. A little better. I'll move back a little bit. All right, let's go. 2 good minutes with DV. Let's roll it right here. Unrehearsed, of course. This is just off the script. By now, in a world of bad news, you've heard that Major League Baseball and the labor situation is at a crossroads. Now, our fingers are crossed. Maybe something getting done today, maybe not. The team owners and players are locked up in a dispute over a laundry list of issues that most of us have no clue about. I mean, really have no clue. The 14th and 15th and 16th item they're fighting about, we have no clue. Of course, millionaires and billionaires fighting over money. What could go wrong, right? Money never causes any trouble. Well, plenty can go wrong, it appears. They're still trying to fight things out. It should come as no surprise as anyone who's followed the game long enough that this situation was in the works. I mean, you go back 2 or 3 years, we've talked about this Armageddon. It's been up there for a long time. Any of the good writers will tell you that the last several years, the great game was in trouble. It was forecast going back to 100% chance of a stoppage months ago. So no surprise here. And the crazy thing about it is, it's like predicting the weather in Kansas City. 70 degrees one day and freezing the next. It's pretty unpredictable. This whole labor situation, unpredictable. What really gets me, though, is all of a sudden I see tweets and love for the minor leagues. Like all of a sudden the minor leagues are new, right? That suddenly came out of nowhere. It might be our league or league members or other league members, affiliated baseball, any number of leagues that are playing baseball, minor leagues, AAA, AA on down. All of a sudden, there's love there, and the game at a more affordable point. It's a great game and great entertainment. It's a shame that it takes the big boys not playing to let the secret out that so many of you watching already know. We all know that our game at our level works on the field, in the stands, in your pocketbook, and in your hearts. While I may be a little open arms about this whole all of a sudden minor league baseball love, I think it's up to challenge each one of us. And I challenge you. Here's my challenge as the 2 minutes roll out. First, continue to support the great game and your Monarchs. However you want to support us, do it and keep it up. Keep it up. And number 2, tell someone. Share what you're doing. However you feel, you share it. Share it. Invite your neighbors, an old mate you've not seen in a long time. Share a night at Legends Field. Let the time drift away. See the flag flapping in the breeze and you're next to your family and friends. That cold one or that great hot dog. Just the feeling at the ballpark. And root for your Monarchs along with cheering with Buck O'Neill, because we will always do it. We always do it. Because unlike the big leagues, we always say, play ball. And that's 2 good minutes with DV. Show continues. Got a little something for you in the back end, but I'm going to go ahead and just dive in to the hot stove update here on Rain Reborn with the Kansas City Monarchs. And I hope you guys are sharing this and letting folks know that we're on. Jim says, I'm losing interest in Major League Baseball. I think that you're not alone. There we go. I think, Jim, that you're a lot of folks are in the same boat that you're in. There's a young group of kids that just don't really care much anymore. And it's funny, I got one fraternity brother of mine who's got 2 young boys, and one's a freshman and one's a 7th grader, or 8th grader, I believe. And they're both baseball players. And it stands out to me because they're like the only 2 I know that are playing at a high level. And I got another friend of mine who's got 2 daughters who are playing competitive softball. You've got to, when I see those things going on, I'm like, wow, they're playing ball. That's pretty cool. And it used to be back in our day, Kenny Matthews, who was mentioned earlier, Kenny and I were talking last night, back in our day, baseball cards and playing pickup games and, watching the game of the week was a big deal. My reference point of baseball was that the Yankees were good and also the Royals were very good because they were on all the time in my neck of the woods back in the day. It's definitely a different time. Hello, Sarah. How you doing as well? Good to see you. And glad you guys are all along here in Rain Reborn with the Kansas City Monarchs. Let's jump into the hot stove update. As I may have, let's see here. Oh, let me message my surprise here and see if I can, because I just got there we go. I got a little something I'm working on, and I want to quite let it out of the bag because if it doesn't work out today for some reason technically, I do want it to be something that you guys will look forward to. But a couple of things in the hot stove. Let's bring the hot stove update up, and there we go, and show you that. It's hot stove time. Mentioned Casey Gillespie signing. Let's go in reverse, though. Let's go in reverse what happened the last 48 hours. Another Monarch, and this is an unprecedented 3rd time that Eric Stout has found his way back to affiliated baseball. So Chicago Cubs have signed Eric Stout, and Stout will head to the Cubs organization. And let me go ahead and put that graphic up for you as well, producing on the fly here. But Stout, who was set to be a part of the Monarchs this year, heading to the Cubs. Contract purchase. Of course, he was purchased last year by the Marlins and 2 years ago by the Reds. And, of course, former Royal in the big leagues. And he is back in affiliated baseball. I want to read you a quote. And I'll put it on the screen here because I want you guys to see. Actually, I'll read it to you. I think it's interesting to note that Eric Stout, talk about a guy that gets it. 3rd time a single player's contract's been transferred to Major League organization. Mentioned the 13th round pick by the Royals back in 14, 40-man roster in 17 and 18 in Omaha. Was with the then T-Bones in 19. It would have been back in 20, but didn't play. Then in 21, 2-1 in 23 innings, a 1.95 for Kansas City. Oh, and by the way, pitcher of the year in the Roberto Clemente League down in Puerto Rico had a pretty good year. But what I want to read you is this quote that Eric has. It says, over the past 3 seasons, both with the T-Bones and now the Monarchs, we've come to learn this is a family in Kansas City. Everyone from the front office to the players welcomes everyone with open arms. The job in KC is to get guys back to big leagues, and they've done it time and time again. And Stout added, the championship was amazing, and we're looking forward to watching the Monarchs go back-to-back. And, he's a guy that appreciates it. You heard Darnell Sweeney talking about it. I mean, it's a special place, and definitely a lot of love there. And I think there's actually a photo that I'll show you guys. I showed this to you, I think, when Stout was having that great run down in Puerto Rico, but I do believe I've got that. Yeah, here it is right here. The photo of him and Joe Cathpietra down in Puerto Rico this last winter. And I'll go ahead and put this on the screen for you there. There it is. You can kind of see it. It's, I don't know why my graphic today is in the way, but let's just move that for you. There we go. And Joe saying we're excited for Eric to get this opportunity at the Cubs, but a very good player, extremely loyal to the organization. There's Joe showing the love down there in Mayagüez down in Puerto Rico, that coming in the winter season. But congratulations to Eric Stout as he is headed to the Chicago Cubs organization. And big news right there. Let's continue on here in Rain Reborn with the Kansas City Monarchs, because I do have this surprise for you. So let me go ahead and give you a little production value before I bring this gentleman on, because I've got something for you. I don't have any theme music, but I'm working on that, and I'll get that when we get back. But let me just get the graphic up. It's got a graphic for this. I want to introduce you to a new segment and possibly a new show coming up. I'm going to put this on the screen. Hen from the Pen. It's the one and only Mike Henneman joining us. I'm bringing him on in 3, 2, 1. Here he is, surprise guest.
Hey,
Mike.
Hey, Dan.
Hey. What are you doing, Mike?
I'm sitting in my truck out here at Heritage Park. I take a drive during the day so I can get off that dang bed because of my foot. I got to get out and get some air, but now I got snow.
Oh, no, snow. Yeah, snow's time. There he is, Mike Henneman. He is the pitching coach of the Monarchs. Of course, a former big leaguer, former Tiger. And, of course, I always talk about the Rangers times with him. But, Mike, we're going to start doing this more often because I think the Hen from the Pen is a pretty cool deal, and you're wanting to do it. First off, catch us up.
Yeah.
Catch us up on how your wheel is. You got 2 of them now?
How about a semi? I got a good one and a semi. But they told me I'm able to walk at the end of this month.
Okay.
Because I've got to go to Detroit for an appearance. So what the doctor says, I probably ain't going to do.
Well,
that's just the way I roll.
Yeah, that's the doctor's orders, so to speak, right? It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, my wife kind of gets on me about that, but you know what? She'll be okay.
Now, you've been paying attention to the roster. You pretty excited to see some of those names back? Pretty fired up. I know you've been busy with that.
Yes, yeah. Joe and I talk, at least twice a week, and we're, Joe is just phenomenal. I love the man. And we're putting together, a staff, which we already have a very good staff. We lost Eric to the Cubs, but that's what we're all about, is getting them ready. And I'm very excited about this club. Now, I just seen you. You couldn't see me because I am technologically pathetic. I can't do that crap. But I seen Darrow, and I was like, I was talking to my phone. And I go, he don't hear me. So anyhow, I got to figure it out. But I am very excited about our pitching staff. We're going to add a couple guys that we're going to pick. I've got one go, and that's to do what we did last year. Gotcha.
You've coached at the affiliate level and the independent level. What are the differences for you? Is there a difference to the two, or do you do the same job no matter what?
Actually, I love my job right here. And the affiliate, you are told who to pitch. You're
Right.
told who to play. And it's like the manager's got to call in every day to the front, to Detroit, to Texas, where you're at, and find out, well, who do I play today?
Right.
And right here, it's all up to Joe. JoJo's got total control. He and I talked during the game about, well, who do you think come in, how many innings, how many pitches, blah, blah. And we communicate so great. He's a blast. He's fun.
All those Tigers years, and you mentioned it going back. How often do you talk to your Tigers brethren, your teammates